You never sing it. You never sing it.
What's up, neckbeards and weirdos? What I have for you today is a sacred waifu that must be protected at all costs. This waifu will have you placing Marin Kitagawa and Ochako on the back burners.
Sorry, man. Just no scenario where this guy lives.
May God rest their curves. In place, however, something more than curves can ever do, and that's warming up your degenerate heart. But before we dive into the waifu herself, let me introduce you to the story, and I'll preface that there will be slight spoilers for the first few chapters. The Fragrant Flower That Blooms with Dignity is authored by Mikami Saka, which is the first manga written and illustrated by this author. Within the first 2 years since its release, it has climbed to the top of the charts on Mao and has had amazing reception on r/manga, because we all know Redditors' opinions matter. Anyways, the basic plot is your Romeo and Juliet type romance between two characters who fall in love despite their schools being against each other, not in a literal standpoint but in a societal perspective, in that all the girls that go to Kyoko High across the road and all the boys who go to Chidori High are in different social standings, from outside perspective and societal norms. In essence, the animosity and tension between the two kind of reminds you of neighboring countries with heavy tensions in the real world that won't be named in this video. Our MC, Rintaro Samugi, on the outside is seemingly your average Japanese delinquent with blonde hair and piercings, but as the story progresses, we see him unravel and learn that he's actually a warm-hearted and sensitive guy. His family owns a cake shop and he's nervous to meet people from them not being able to see the real him. Until he meets this girl who can see the heart underneath this shell of someone who's wearing a mask, and that's where we inject our first dose of waifu. Karuko Wagari is our waifu, and she is as perfect as it gets. She's caring and isn't afraid to stand up for what she believes in, even if she's in the way of fire. On top of that, she's the direct opposite of being selfish, recognizing even though she is capable of so much, she relies on those around her and makes them feel like they matter. And kudos to the author, because she builds tension and dramatic suspense in a shoujo manga romance like you don't really see often. Let me show you an example from this excerpt. In this, Rintaro is opening up to Waguri and her friend about how he wished he could have as an open relationship with his friends as she has. And it is really emphasizing that he's looking for someone to rely on, because to this point he's kept his relationship with Waguri and her friend a secret from his friends, shutting them out from his life. And instead of the comical approach we've seen taken in other series in the same genre, this actually serves a point of contention for the story. And Rintaro is self-aware though, and he recognizes the potential of losing his new friends of Wagari and her friend to prioritize his boys that were there from the jump. And based on the illustrations, this reminds you something like from a horror genre of manga, but it results in an unexpected outcome. The author consistently subverges our expectations, exposing the rational and caring sides of people, revealing that honesty with the people closest to you leads to a more fulfilling relationship. The best way I could describe this feeling is like when your mom is telling you to get off the games because you have school tomorrow, and you hear the doorknob rattling, and when that door opens, instead of a chancla and reprimand, she brings you snacks and encourages you even though you've been wiping in dead mines for the last 5 hours. It's almost unpredictable how characters will react through the panels and the rampant build of tension, yet the manga continuously emphasizes the best in people. Not to say this is always the case with characters, but I'll leave that for you to find out when you pick it up. The Fragrant Flower That Blooms with Dignity is a certified banger and hood classic that you should consider picking it up. If you're looking for something new to read, as I predict it will 100% be picked up for an anime adaptation in the future. Kuroko is a waifu through and through. Her portrayal and her characteristics not only leave you feeling less empty, but leave you satisfied in a wholesome kind of way. The author's art style is unique and perfectly matches the tone of the story, and Kuroko is mature for her age. Wait a minute. What did I just say?
FBI, open up!